Hi everyone, I'm Bree, our developer of culture and learning at Craft. Today I'm joined by Bill Yeargin, our CEO since 2006, whose Making Life Better vision has shaped our values that we live out today. And also Zach Hutcheson, who will take the CEO role in April. Zach, our CFO, has been with Craft for over a decade and led key efforts in vertical integration and innovation. Today we're talking about culture, leadership, and the future of Craft. Bill, changing CEOs for 20 years at an organization is a pretty big deal. How did you prepare Craft for this moment?
So I knew several years ago that I was coming towards the end of my career, and I wanted to make sure that Craft is in really good position, for the change. So really, I focused on two things. One is trying to do the hard things, putting together a list of what are the big challenges that we as an organization need to tackle so the next CEO can focus primarily on growth. And then the second thing was it was important to me to have an internal candidate. So I was very intentional about investing in some of our team. So we had multiple internal candidates to consider when I made the decision to step down.
Why is it important for your successor to be an internal leader?
It was important to me, Bree, because we have such a special culture and such a special organization and team here at Craft that I wanted to make sure that we had somebody who was going to carry on the values and carry on the culture that has had such a big impact on our organization, our performance, and our communities over the last 20 years.
Zach, you've been at Craft for a while now. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey here and what initially drew you to Craft?
Yeah, so Bree, I actually grew up here in Central Florida on near the water, just spent a lot of my time near the water. And actually, I have a Parker center console boat. I love spending time out on the water. Most weekends, you'll find me and my wife, Christine, and our two boys out on the water at the sandbar, out fishing. It's just a really big part of our life. I grew up on the water, grew up surfing, just love spending time behind the boat. It's just a really important part of my family life. Once I got here, just really have loved the culture, embraced the culture. It's had a major impact on my life, and I really, really look forward to continuing that culture and continuing to build what we have today.
Bill, why is organizational culture important?
People want to be part of something big, something that's having an impact. And so culture can do that. Culture can give people something to be energized about. And secondly, it drives results. The important part is, though, you don't create a culture to get the results, because often that backfires. But if you're well-intended and you drive a great culture, the results come with it.
How would you tangibly define culture?
Well, at Craft, our mission is building boats to the glory of God. That's the overall mission. Our why is making life better. We exercise that through service to each other, service to our vendors, our customers, and service to our communities. That was really what I think of as the core of our culture.
Zach, what characteristics of our culture are you hoping to preserve, and also what are ones that you're hoping to build upon?
Yeah, as Bill mentioned, our mission of building boats to the glory of God, that is really the core of what we do. And we will build on that from here. Making life better, or why, really important to what we do. In addition to that, a culture on innovation is really, really important. And then in addition to that, our service and our philanthropy, it's just really, really impactful. And I love the impact we can have on our communities, on our people. It's just really, really special.
Culture is built on triumphs and trials and collectively building an organization. What was a time that kind of revealed who we are as a company?
Yeah, Craft has a 100-year history. There are a lot of examples of really moments where our culture has shined. But one time that was just really, really characteristic of us was in 2020, we held the Culture Summit. It really showed how important culture was to us and how we were willing to invest in others in our community, in addition to even some of our competitors.
Bill, do you think of any times that kind of defined or kind of showed who we were as a company?
Zach said there's so many different examples, but I think of a time actually in 2008 when we had the Great Recession and we lost almost 90% of our business overnight. At that point, I met with our employees and I told them that we didn't know what the future held, but we were going to spend the next 60 days and invest in them. We didn't have any boats to build. We taught them how to weld. We taught people who didn't know how to speak English, how to speak English. We taught them personal finance. We went out and did local service projects and invested in them. And I told them that we couldn't promise them a job after 60 days, but we could promise an all-out effort on our part to invest in them So they had to go somewhere else. They'd have better tools to go and do that. And I think that really captures who we are and the fact that we care for our folks.
Absolutely. I think there's still people today here who've come and talked to me about that time and how they felt so appreciative of our team doing that and still having a job today.
Many have come back. That
Right.
we dropped several hundred employees, but a lot of those employees came back and are really, I've had many people over the years, even some that didn't come back, Bree, tell me how much they appreciate the way that we handled that very difficult time.
Bill, what are some defining lessons through your time at Craft that you've learned?
Be a learner and focus on continuing to grow and learn. So many people consume information, but they consume it to validate what they already think. Learners consume information to see the world differently and even love having their mind changed. So I say, number one, be a learner. And number two is choose impact. When your focus is primarily on chasing rewards, it puts you on this hedonic treadmill that just leaves you exhausted. But if you're chasing impact, you're having an impact on your team, your community, everybody around you, and you still get the rewards because everyone wants somebody that's chasing impact on their teams.
Bill, in April, you're transitioning to our board chair of Craft. What does your role look like there?
As board chair, I'll work with the board and sort of manage the board process. But more importantly, I just want to be a resource to Zach. And I want to be available to him, help him any way I can. Obviously, I'll be happy to do that, but while also staying out of his hair and letting him, run the company, let him have the space that he needs to run the company. The measure of a CEO isn't just when he or she is in the job, but for 2 or 3 years afterwards. If the CEO's done their good job well and they've had a good process for change, that success should continue afterwards.
Zach, do you anticipate any immediate changes at Craft?
Taking Bill's picture down everywhere.
Bree, I've been here for 11 years, so any changes that we see here at Craft are going to be related to the growth that we have at Craft. While Bill and I are different people, we have many of the same values. So really what I plan to do is build from what we have today and really love to see it grow. I don't see on April 1st us making any major changes to the organization because I've been part of this. It's been part of who I am, and I know I've had a hand in the past 11 years of Craft histories.
I think that's an important point because Zach has been a key part of our team for a long time. So it's not like somebody new coming in that sees things differently. I've valued Zach's input for a long time and taken it into consideration as we've made decisions. So he's been a part of where we are today. It's not like somebody coming in new that it's all different to them.
Zach, as you envision Craft 5, 10 years from now, where do you hope that we'll be?
Yeah, so Bree, healthy organizations are growing organizations. So I'm really, really excited to see Craft grow. We plan to be a $2 billion company by 2030. That's really exciting and will bring really exciting changes. With that growth, we can have some big impact on our communities and our teams. Innovation is the core of what we do. So we'll continue having our product development teams focus on sustaining innovation and integrating that within our product. At the same time, we'll have a team, actually right now it's our watershed innovation team that's focused on disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation is the type of innovation that can put us out of business. So we need a core team that's just really, really laser focused on that disruptive innovation and make sure that we're prepared for the future.
I'd love to hear from both of you all, but what kind of company are we striving to be today and also in the years ahead?
We're striving to be a company today that uses our platform for good. I have tremendous confidence in Zach and Zach's ability to build on that. We've got an incredible platform at Craft that can impact a lot of lives in a very positive way.
Bill has put us in a position and left this platform in a really, really great spot. And this is just the beginning of the impact that we can have. So we have really great team members. We have amazing dealers, amazing customers, and amazing product. One important part of Craft's impact is our service trips. And with the growth that Craft has, we will continue with our service trips and our philanthropy and our impact within our communities. I'm really, really excited to continue growing that initiative.
One more final and very important question. I noticed you do have some interesting patterns on your socks. Was that a requirement to be the CEO, next CEO?
Yes, as the board considered CEO requirements, that was right at the top of the list. And Zach, do you think you can fill these socks?
Yeah, until April 1st, I'll continue wearing your old ones.
Thank you for an inspiring conversation. It's clear Crackraft was built on a strong foundation, and our best days are still ahead.
Thanks, Bree.
Thank you, Bree.